And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from the Women of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today we are going to react to the honest truth about high value women. This is a video from the roommates, that channel that I keep doing reactions to. It's freaking awesome. I mean, they helped me to create topics and then I discuss them, and we sometimes disagree and a lot of the times agree. And this came out just 4 days ago, so let's get rolling.
I mean, a couple things. Career or
what is a top 10% woman in your opinion?
I mean, a couple things. Career-oriented woman and
I'm sorry.
Career-oriented?
Career-oriented.
Keep on going.
What?
It's her definition. It's her definition.
Keep going. Wait,
Yes.
Okay. All men in the world who like women and are attracted to them and want to be with them will laugh at that. Okay? Every time. Unless we're keeping it inside. But we'll still laugh. Because it is such like when that's the number one thing women can think of what makes a woman high value, it's like in our brains, we're just like, what? What? Because it is the opposite of what is valuable for men. Like literally you're making yourself less valuable when you are career oriented to high value men. This is why they laugh. Now, if it's a woman that they truly like from a physical appearance standpoint and everything else is amazing, and then that's one of the first things that comes out of her mouth in terms of her idea of what a high-value woman is, he'll be like, damn, all right, I guess it's not her then. That's how we think. So just a thought there, why they're laughing.
Or entrepreneur, someone who is dedicated, and I don't know, those are all like very vague descriptions though.
She also said entrepreneur. I don't agree. Like I had a Suzanne Venker. I sometimes do reactions to her as well because she talks about the same topics. And she recently had a video. Her last video was about, people who are, or women who are in their careers and are mothers. They complained to her because she was basically saying, or it sounded as if she meant that, women should be in the home and they should not be career oriented. And she was like clearing up the confusion, saying, no, there's a third option, people. I mean, you have the career women, that choose not to be mothers, and then you have their full-time career, and part-time mothers. And then you have the complete extreme opposite approach, which is being only a stay-at-home mother and never wanting or having a career. And this is what my wife did, by the way. Thank goodness. And then she says that there's a third option where a woman can be a part-timer or an entrepreneur at home or blah, 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 blah. In my opinion, a woman shows her true high-valueness if her only desire is the kids and her family and the home. That's what men deem as high value. It's kind of like a man being asked to do a certain task or a job or a career, and then he's asked to, gung-ho it like 10 to 12 hours a day, and you got to pull through because we need you to be at your optimal performance at any given time. And then on top of that and his family, he then chooses to have another job or another career who have the exact same stringent demands on his time and efforts as that first job. Like, that's going to be a diversification, don't you think? Like, it's going to be like one of them or both companies are going to tell the guy, like, you'll have to choose. You can't work at both companies if you're going to be gung-ho and this is your long-term career. We can't have you, like, where's your loyalty type thing. And that's kind of the same thing when it comes to women. It's not women's fault that they don't want it. Because women actually, literally, naturally desire it if they're unburdened. They naturally desire the stay-at-home mom arena and taking care of the home, taking care of the kids, taking care of the domestic aspect if they're unburdened. If they're feminine to the core, this is what they'll desire. Just like a man, if he's feminine, he'll desire to not work that hard. He won't be as ambitious. He'll be more focused on relaxing. Those are great things, but they're kind of designed for the feminine beings on planet Earth. Like a guy, if he's going to be a man, he needs to have a desire for ambition, for work, for power and going in that direction. And if not, he's not a man. Like he's a woman, but in male form. So it's the exact same thing. You gotta understand our definitions of masculinity and femininity. I highly encourage you to watch more of our videos because I go into depth about all of this. And I 100% believe that it's gonna help you and your relationships and your life.
That's cool.
But,
How does this woman act?
like a lady?
What does that mean?
Let's get into that.
Like a lady, like she carries herself a certain way. She's not going to tolerate, BS from anyone.
I am woman, hear me
She has,
roar.
yeah, she has standards and morals and values, and she doesn't waver on those things. And she's looking for a man to either meet or exceed that. And I mean, honestly, I feel like in this day and age, there's more high value women, but high value women aren't the pick of the litter. Like we're not.
Wait. More? You mean like there's more?
More than there were in the past.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Cool.
yes.
That makes
There are
sense.
more high value women today than there were in the past.
Yes, because we can work, we can make money. Like there was so many constraints, back in the day, whatever century that was. We could not work. We weren't afforded the same opportunities. Now we're all on even playing field. We can get out there and make money, be successful, and also contribute to a household, a family, and partnership.
That is so messed up. It is messed up that women believe this. Like, how come men are not stepping up to the plate and providing in such grand measure that women don't even have to think about needing more money for the household? Like, why should women be thinking that we need more money for the household? That's messed up. A woman wouldn't even be thinking that if the family's rolling in dough. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's not women's fault that they think like this. She's like, there's more high value women now than there's been previously. And then the guys sitting there, they're like thinking, what kind of women have kind of depreciated in value over time? Like, women were more valuable to men in the past when they actually lived their lives according to complementing the man's role instead of competing with it. Not that we don't want competition. That's not what it's about. It's about setting up families and making those families work and not being diversified in that role. Like, why would we want to make our job harder? It's like two different people, like with it's an engineer and a bus driver being told or being, coming up with the idea that, hey, maybe we can kind of collaborate between our roles, bro. Like, you're a bus driver, but how about you be me half of the day and be an engineer, and then I'll be a bus driver the other half of the day, and we can talk about our different challenges, and it's gonna be fun. Like, that's horrible. Like, let that engineer be focused on his engineering thing 12 hours a day, and let the bus driver become an amazing bus driver who takes the kids or the people wherever they need to go safely. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, specialization in our different roles is what makes for a happy home. Literally. Or at least as happy as can be.
But it's just a little skewed when it comes to settling down because I feel like men don't need that from us.
Okay, I was about to say, okay.
What?
This is good. Go ahead, Princeton.
Do you think men are attracted to, do you think a high value man is attracted to a woman's money
No.
or her career?
No.
Okay.
No, and this is where it's interesting. So No,
It could help,
no, this is
but I
where,
don't think that's it though.
this is where it's interesting. This is where it gets good. The word high value is like all words in English dictionary. It means whatever you want it to be. Like it lacks all objectivity in today's world. The word is just so postmodern, so super subjective. And so, are you still here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
He's a good listener.
Yeah, great listener. I can't even realize the fly on the wall. But to me, the idea is that if you are high value, that means you're valuable to somebody, right? And so in my brain, I've always said the simplest definition of being a. Go ahead and mute me again, Wilmer, because I hear a little echo.
Yeah.
So mute yourself, because I hear a little echo, Wilmer. So to me, a high value man is a man dating. I'm talking about dating, relationship, marriage is somebody that women find valuable to pick. The man, if there's 100 guys in the room, if there's a top 10, they're the highly valuable ones because women find them to be valuable. End of the day, when it comes to dating, business-wise, same as business. The high-value business person are the one who's making the most money. The high-value NBA player are the NBA players who's at the top. LeBron James is a high-value basketball player. No disrespect to him, but Caruso from the Lakers is not a high-value player. You know what I mean? And so high value is somebody who's highly valuable to whoever that end consumer is. The problem that I've seen is that what women do when they define high value is they just take the man definition and they put it on women. So they say, okay, we know a man is highly valuable. I wrote the things down, who career driven, entrepreneur driven, standards, value. I understand that to me, he's highly valuable. So then women will think now I'm highly valuable because I possess the things that attract me to men. And so to me, a high value woman is a woman who men find to be highly valuable. But I would argue in this conversation, it is subjective though. We don't like to talk about subjectivity because there's a lot of objectivity. It is subjective because there are some guys who, let's say, for example, if their whole family went to Harvard, they can't marry a girl who went to North Texas. No disrespect. You know what I mean? Like if their family is one of those preppy, like high uppity families, their dad's gonna want to know what Ivy League did you go to. So
Now, see, that's messed up. Okay, like, oh my gosh. If like a family is expecting the son to marry a certain class of a blah blah blah, like what the flip? Okay, like let him marry whoever he wants. Let him choose whoever he fancies to be with for life. Like that, I mean, yeah, okay, family decisions, okay, but if a guy is choosing a woman, let him pick. Like that's ridiculous for a family to participate in that decision-making process. In terms of a woman, however, I can see how more relevant it would be for family to participate in helping her choose the right type of guy because of her emotional subjectivity, I guess he used that word, but the emotional aspect of she can't really see clearly if she's extremely attracted to the guy. Now, you could say that about the man as well, but it's kind of easier for a man to choose rationally than a woman when it comes to those things. Especially if he's been to Harvard, he should be somewhat more emotionally, yeah, but not necessarily. So I completely agree with what Hafiz is saying here, is that what's high value, we need to focus on what a man would want, a high value man would want, because that's why you're watching this channel. That's why these women are watching his channel, because they want to know what is a high value woman to the guy that I want to be with for life. That's the only reason why they're watching relationship stuff, is for their relationship to work. If they're not in one today, the one that they're going to be in someday, or the one that they're in today. Like they want to be a high value woman for him. Now, if they're with the low value guy, then they're probably trying to find another guy or whatever it is, or fix the relationship or get him to become high value. It's, but yeah, that's kind of how I see the situation. And also, what is, even to a woman, like what is a high value woman to another woman? It's someone who has an extremely valuable man. Like that's what a high value woman is. Someone who's been able to capture an amazing guy and she's got an amazing life. Like that's it. Like there's nothing career oriented or entrepreneurial stuff going on unless a woman wants to be independent of a man's money. And that's is a flag in and of itself. Like, women who want to have their independent money, that's messed up. And it comes from their insecurities and distrust in men, which is a whole nother video in and of itself.
So there is education for some people. There are some guys who in the Asian community or Indian community, if you're a doctor, your parents want you to bring home a doctor. You know, if you're a guy and you're a doctor and you bring home a girl, oh, she works at Kroger, bagging groceries, your parents may not accept that. And so the word high value is subjective-ish depending on the guy. But generally speaking, there are things that men find valuable more than others.
Yeah, real talk.
And I don't think, for men anyway, I'm not going to speak for y'all, but what I can observe for the most part is y'all aren't looking for women to be any of those things that I just described.
Yeah, because to me, it's like, I think the point is, it goes back to like importance. Here's a great example. If I'm selecting a quarterback, throwing the football is an important, valuable skill. If I'm selecting a wide receiver, throwing a football, though it's a valuable skill on a quarterback, is not valuable for a receiver. I'm looking for different things.
Rose.
Exactly. So I like what Princeton was saying. I think for most guys, a career is valuable, but on the list of things, it may not be on his top 10.
So, I mean, okay, what is it then?
Or top 100. Like, I literally was looking for a woman that didn't want to work a day in her life outside of the house. That was one of my top 3 criteria. Okay? Like, looking for a woman. Like, that's for a man who is going places, who has extreme ambitions, and who wants to, shine out there. Because why would I need her to provide me with money if I got that? I'm taking care of it. Okay, you don't have to worry about that aspect.
Well, okay. Let me get really real quick because
in case he wasn't already.
Let me get a little bit more
Really,
real.
really real.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is an oversensitive society. You know what I mean? Let me get really real. Here's the deal. So I believe in the Lord Jesus, right? In the book of Isaiah, it says Jesus was not someone to be looked upon as someone like handsome. You know what I mean, say he didn't really look that good, but we know that he was the best, right? So in my mind, it's like, he wasn't somebody to be looked upon. So his looks wasn't really that good. He wasn't like a handsome guy to be attracted to. But what was it really that was really attractive to? It was his character, the godliness, the faith. So for a woman, I see that, and I'm like, whoa.
Stop. I'm not going to do that.
Wait. I'm not done yet, though.
Okay, go ahead.
Not done yet.
Okay.
Done yet.
Okay. And Henny's starting to hit, baby.
See? When I'm thinking about, like, character with how the woman acts, that's why when you was describing those, like, she's career-driven, she's entrepreneurship, success, I'm like, okay, but how does she act, though? Because with a man, if a man is really, trying to be a man, and when I say trying, I mean like it's a fight. You know what I mean? It's not like you could be a man and you have these masculine qualities, but every day you're not gonna wake up and just automatically possess all of these qualities. You got to get up and go do it.
He's kind of vague here. Doesn't really explain what a high value woman is, although he mentions character. But it is interesting him using the word masculine, okay? When he's talking about a man needing to become a man, like, okay, that's masculinity. Okay, you need to understand, we need to understand as a whole, as a society, what masculinity is. Because if you want to truly understand men of high value, women of high value, we got to understand the polarity aspect of men needing to move towards masculinity. The more masculine, the more high value. But then you got to understand the definition of masculinity. Same with women. The more feminine, the more high value. Let's get that. Crucial. What's the definition? A man who's masculine has the ability to control his thoughts, emotions, and behaviors independent of circumstances, takes upon himself responsibility, and then follows through on that responsibility with excellence. Okay? And he thinks huge. He's a leader. He makes things happen. He finds solutions to all sorts of problems, and then he wants more problems to solve because he wants more power. power, the ability to do masculine. Okay, now we understand that aspect. This is what a man needs to be driven and moving towards. Then we're talking now about women. What is femininity? What truly is femininity? This is what a high value woman is. And I'm going to keep it simple and clear cut so that you know forever, for the rest of your life, what it is that we're working towards in terms of women. Femininity means being unburdened, carefree, no responsibilities, and if you do have responsibilities, as few as possible. Why? So you can relax and recharge, so you can do your most important role in life, which is nurturing. Nurturing. Men protect and provide. Women, they nurture. You see, men get rejected. That makes them tougher, harder, and more, okay? Like, that's what men need. Women, no rejection, please. Rejection makes you tough, hard, and disciplined and focused, right? We don't want that for women. Women need nurturing. There's no rejection there. There's only acceptance, love, generosity, sharing, wonderful lovey-dovey feelings, smelling the flowers, enjoying life. That's femininity. That's what you need to work towards. Relaxation, nature, go with the flow, go with the stream, flexibility. That's femininity. That's a high value woman. It sounds, for a woman who's like massively career driven and wants to go places, that goes completely against her entire wiring. And that's sad. Because you're literally, if you're wired towards that career-driven path, you're literally decreasing your value and working on decreasing your value every single day. And it literally is decreasing that value. And it's not your fault that the wiring has happened, that your environment has told you that this is how it is. I'm part of the environment to help you, to steer you back into that wonderful environment of nurturing, of estrogen, of being able to feel, okay? And getting to know yourself, know your body, know who you are as a woman. That's being high value. Because if you're able to be feminine and nurturing and beautiful and in line with nature, that's what attracts a high value man to you. Always, 100%. And guess what? You'll be fertile as a result if you're of that age.
Right? It's a mindset. It's a mentality. So what I'm saying is, if you have that type of man, then the type of woman that man wants is a woman who is going to bring him peace.
How do we do that?
A woman who's going to have some comfort. You know what I mean? Like submissiveness.
Okay, there we go.
I was
like, when you I feel it.
And obviously, you're not going to submit to the wrong man. You're not going to submit to the wrong type of leadership. You know you can trust this man. That's why you are submitting to him, right? Mm-hmm. You're not just going to submit to some fuck boy, right? You're going to submit to somebody that you see that you can submit to. And so for the woman that top 10%, it's like, that's why they're top 10%. Because how many women, when they hear that word, they cool with it? Very rare. Very rare when they hear that word. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's not a bad word. It's a great word. Who's taking away from the role of that, the importance of that? I got a song called Good Family, right? Mm-hmm. The song Good Family is about like growing up in that type of household. And if you got a son, if you got a daughter, and they see that is like, that's like how the household is supposed to be ran. So therefore, when they get older, that's what they're looking for. It reciprocates. That's how you keep that lineage going, is because they see how roles are properly played out.
So a high value woman is bringing you peace and is submissive.
Yeah. But you saw how that would have naturally happened if a woman is everything that I just described. She would bring him peace, nurturing, and she would also be submissive. Now, what's interesting is that it's not her fault if she's not unburdened, Because most men, the vast majority of men, burdens their women. This is what I did to my wife. I had no idea what she needed for her nature to be feminine, for her to enjoy her life, for her to be able to bask in the joy of whatever, right? Like, I had no idea about this information when I got married, flipping 12 years ago? 12 years ago, okay, in October. Like, I had no idea. This is all the information I figured out as a result of our relationship not really functioning the way that I wanted it to go. And so we had to figure out all this stuff. We figured it out, and it's simple as heck. Literally. Like, a woman's submission is a gift that she receives. Okay? And she gives to the man. So they both have it. Her submission. It's a gift that comes as a result, a natural gift that comes as a result of true leadership. Trust. A man who's able to come through with his commitments and with his ability to solve problems. Because if he's able to solve problems, then he's able to create that type of environment that the woman needs in order for her to be unburdened and feminine. That's what will give the man peace. So it's 100%, in many ways, in the man's control once they're in a relationship. But he needs to understand female nature. He needs to understand what type of environment she needs. And he needs to give it to her. Until he commits for life, it's obviously not his responsibility yet to actually make sure she's unburdened. So it's more so of the father. It's more so of her getting the help of her environment to be as unburdened as possible. It really is on the father. Like, the father is responsible for his daughter being unburdened or not unburdened. 100%. Really. Okay? And then he passes that unburdened woman together, like they choose, right? Him and his daughter, they choose together from a selection of men. Which guy? You know? What do you think? You know? And then the daughter chooses from that selection her man, right? And that's and then the father knows from heavy research that this guy has a proven track record. We can trust him. He's legit. Let's go. You get what I'm saying? So through that, the father who's 100% responsible can now leave the 100% responsibility over to the man. The woman's not responsible for her being unburdened. Although if she is unburdened, she'll help out in so many different ways. It's crazy. Because women who are unburdened are able to control themselves. They run towards responsibility. They want to help. They want to nurture. They want to take care of things because they care. They naturally care. And they've been given with that gift. Men don't care. We're not bothered to do anything unless there's a reason or a motivation to do so. This is why this world is kind of messed up, but we understand that. And there's a reason for everything of how things work.
Yeah, I mean those are like two of the like main, because if you ask a man who's trying to lead you, they're not gonna want a woman who is bringing drama. In terms of a wife, I'm talking about a wife.
Yeah, no.
They're not gonna want a woman who's bringing drama. They're not gonna want a woman who is trying to lead them, right?
No, I agree.
Obviously, they're gonna be attracted to him. Obviously, they're gonna have some other qualities. But I'm saying,
and that's why I say I feel like for top 10% women, it's very difficult for them because they got to that point by, pushing on people and get people out the way. Like,
and I think the thing, sorry for cutting you off, I think using the word top 10%, you keep on using that word. So you mean top 10% financially?
No, what's the term we were using?
High value.
High value,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
Ooh, high value women, I think
High
it's harder.
value in men's eyes or society's eyes? You saying they have to get to the top, so I'm trying to understand. So
I think high value women, I'm not going to say all of them, but a lot of them, when they hear that, they equate it to I'm successful, I have my own, I'm not putting up with certain things, I have standards, I have vision for myself and my future. And I think what comes with that a lot of times is a wall.
Yeah.
And so
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly what it is. A wall that no one can climb because you've isolated yourself inside this brick wall. 4 walls, and you're lonely. And it's like someone please punch through and spend time with me. Like, no one knows you're there. Like, you're yelling, but it's like almost a soundproof wall that you've built around yourself by becoming successful. Being unhappy and lonely is not successful. Like, that's not success. But it's not your fault. It's your father's fault, if anything. But he didn't know either, so whose fault is it, right? No matter whose fault it is, we got to fix the problem. The problem has a solution. That solution is found on the Women of High Value channel if you subscribe and figure out what we're talking about on this channel, because we got it.
A high value man that's looking for a woman that is bringing you peace and comfort and submission, they probably have those qualities, but they're not going to readily just show you that. It's going to take a little bit of time to peel that back.
Why do you think it takes time to peel that back? Because those high value women have been hurt in the past by men who slept with them and screwed them over. That's why. And that's why they're trying to become successful in the first place. They don't trust men. That's like the number one telltale sign of a woman who's trying to make it in the real world. Who's trying to become a man. She's been hurt by a man. So now she's going to compete in the world and try to become a man. Obviously, the opposite direction of her feminine nature. Distrust. Okay? The world will function once women are able to trust men. The number one thing men have to do for women to begin trusting them is to never ever sleep with the woman who you're not committed to for life. That's what I teach. That's what I teach everyone. Everywhere. Okay, the roommates are beginning to tap into that a little bit. You know, they had a video about male promiscuity a couple of days ago. Good on them, okay? But the whole world has to have a crystal clear message that it's bad for women, for men, and for children that men are initiating sexual relationships with women. That's bad. Always. Unless they're committed for life from the get-go. Because this is how families are ruined. Home wrecking happens before the home is even thought of. Home wrecking happens when a man initiates sexual relationship with the woman he's not committed to for life. Home wrecking. Done. And repeated over time because the woman has multiple partners, but it's not the amount of partners that's the problem, but the higher amount of partners that she has, the higher probability that she's going to get a guy who's going to leave her heartbroken and compare him with whatever man she gets in the future, which is a problem. The problem, really.
And so it's always like a battle at first.
No, you're
before
right.
you get to that point.
You're right. And I think going back to the language is important, because I would say career women or ambitious women. I wouldn't use the word high value because, like I said, it goes back to, is she valuable in the workplace? Yes. A lot of women I know, they're like high 6-figure, 7-figure earners. They're high value in business. But when it comes to men picking the top 10% of women they're going to marry on a lineup, they ain't making the first cut. And so I think it's always a question where women know for a fact, men, they choose what kind of men are attractive. I can say all day long I'm the most handsome guy in the world, but women are the choosers. End of the day, women are choosing. They're sexually selective animals. They're going to choose. And so I think there's also the point where when it comes to what's a highly valuable woman, the reality has to be she's somebody that men find valuable. If men don't find you valuable, in my opinion, not a high value woman. If you're a man and women don't find you valuable, you can't say I'm highly valuable. You can't say this is a highly valuable car, but nobody wants to buy it. Nobody wants it. This is a highly valuable property, but nobody wants to purchase it. Nobody wants to spend any money on it. And then the market's like, well, that's not like $4 million. That should be on sale for $4,000. That's not a highly valuable property. Downtown Dallas, this is highly valuable property. People are paying multi-millions of dollars to build property in units here. And so to me, I just think the question always has to be like, if something is valuable, what is important? Who's that important for?
But then I think again that goes to your original point where it's like subjective, because this is valuable to investors for real estate, gods or whatever. But there might be something that might look like chump change to you, but it's valuable to me.
Now, when it comes to who you end up wanting to commit to for life, not at all, not subjective for a high value man. for a masculine man? No. It's completely objective. It is true for 80%. I could say 95%. I have to say 80% because there's a lot of high value men who are extremely feminine. And those feminine men are going to be like, no, but I want my woman to work. I want her to have something to do, blah, 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 so she doesn't disturb me and stuff like that. He doesn't understand female nature and what she needs in terms of an environment for her to be unburdened. They got no idea. So you don't want to be with a high value man who doesn't understand female nature and who doesn't understand what it's going to take for you to be unburdened. So really, 100% of the kind of men that you want to be with that's going to give you happiness for life, they have an objective list of things that they want from a woman if they're understanding about how female nature works. Okay? If they have no idea, they don't know what they want, and they'll get the best thing that they can get. Okay, but if he knows, he knows.
Maybe my grandmother lived in that home. That's valuable to me. Like, so it goes back to what it is that you need to sustain you and what you see for your vision and what you're looking for.
I love what she said, because what I've noticed is that's true. People with this whole conversation, you have to understand men in totality and not just a select few men. There's a lot of guys who would love a career-driven woman who will take care of them.
Yeah, it's messed up though.
There's a lot of guys who are raised by their mothers, who are used to women leading, who they would love a career-driven woman to take care of them.
But you hear what he's saying though? They would love a woman to take care of them, to lead them. Okay, so that's feminine guys wanting masculine women. Not really what masculine women are looking for normally.
So you're right. They will find a career-driven woman highly valuable. But my thing is always like, the kind of man that you want, does he find you valuable? Is there a man that finds you valuable, who might be feminine, wants a masculine leader, but the kind of man that you want, does he find you valuable?
And I think that's what I'm saying. I think that's the challenging part for people that are in that realm, because it's harder to match those two things together.
Yes.
Is a battle that goes on. And I feel like for high value men, there's women everywhere. There's women everywhere. And y'all are going to be okay with one of them, whether they high value or mediocre value. Like,
dang, they spoke for 3 hours. There's another video of it, but it is what it is. We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to go through that either. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let's see if you guys have any questions. New video. Just worked 10 hours. Fantastic. You guys are amazing. That's what I want to share with you guys. I'll see you in the next one.